Markle literally trapped by Princess Catherine. Take two. Meghan Markle literally trapped by the Princess of Wales, Princess Catherine. Is that truly the case? As ever, let me explain. Morning, lovely to see you today here in Downing Street, very quiet as you can see, normally a hive of activity. Yes, and thank you by the way for your lovely comments regarding our recent Sunday matinee. I'm glad you're all enjoying those. I'm going to try and put more up each Sunday, finding films that I think you might enjoy if you've got a bit of downtime, or as a lot of you have said, there's nothing on TV, so you watch to save it later. I know I do that. Yeah, you just do, don't you? Think, no, I won't do it now because I'll get distracted, but I'll come back to it later. This latest one with Maxwell Reid, the first husband of Joan Collins, is a real treat. And it's interesting to note that he was a rare actor of his time, particularly in the British films, to be so tall. A lot of them, you know, like Richard Todd and Kenneth More, were what they call rank smallies. Yes, the rank studio organisation. Maxwell Reid was a very tall guy indeed. Check out the movie if you get the opportunity. Back as ever to your royal story of the day. Now, as we know, Meghan Markle, well, you know, where do you start with this particular latest debacle? The American Riviera Orchard brand. It's a disaster really waiting to happen. And I don't wish ill on anybody, but it's just badly executed. I've said this to you before, I really don't understand how people with all of that money can literally get it so wrong. I mean, surely somebody must be giving some kind of advice. Literally at the very middle of all the problems that were going on with the British monarchy, with all the ill health and everything that was knocking around, Meghan decides, some might suggest, rather unsavoury, to release her latest project without any backup, without any product, without any show, you know, nothing to buy, no merchandise, no interaction, just a fuzzy video looking like it's been taken very quickly by perhaps Archie on his new camera. Who knows? But here's where it gets very tricky now for Meghan Markle, according to her team. You see, they want to push ahead as they do with the things like the podcasting and all that sort of stuff. But you see, Meghan's savvy enough to know just who the star power is inside the British monarchy. Now, each time, of course, Catherine literally comes out and does any kind of charitable event, it's front page news. That's because it's an important event, and more importantly, people want to see her. She's very relatable. That's why the charities do well with her as their main ambassador. And I'm not saying that in a greasy way, but you just look at the figures. You can see what good she truly does. Behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know that she undertakes lots of direct phone calls and Zoom calls, checking in on those charities behind the scenes, as I say. Now, for Meghan Markle, you see, the problem is this, and her team. When do they decide to go back and relaunch anything now with Meghan? Because they're acutely aware that the moment that they do this, if Catherine, comes back out into the public domain, which could be at any moment, let's be honest, as she said herself, she's getting better and stronger every single day. Well, this will literally wipe away the front pages or the digital platforms. Meghan is nothing but media savvy. She knows that she lives for the front pages, lives for the headlines, and those recent stints of turning up at the Ulvardi birthday party and of course the hospital reading visit really didn't hit the mark, and I don't mean that unkindly. They were not the top stories, they weren't the most searched. They're panicking back in Montecito. And once Catherine, the Princess of Wales, decides to come back onto the world stage, it really is finito. Because right now, Meghan needs all the support that she can get. But with her husband literally battling the world's media, particularly the UK media over here, they're less than kind at supporting someone who seemingly has no time for the United Kingdom. Either way, Meghan, quite literally, has been trapped by the Princess of Wales, and even she knows it now. Neil Sean, 10 Downing Street, London.